Oh, baby, I am telling you all right now. Tommoyuki Sigano. He's been the wild card. He's going to continue to be the wild card, and he very well could be the difference between the Orioles struggling to get wins and having another guy with Zach Eflin who they can consistently can rely on to go out there and put on a show. What a damn performance for the 36-year-old rookie. Guys, we talked about it after last game with the Sugano. After that first inning, it was all nerves. It was all nerves. You could tell by the second he got out there in Toronto, you were like, okay, something's off. The nerves were there for a guy who throws nothing but strikes, it feels like. He was just coming nowhere close to the zone. Obviously, the hand cramps then come into play as well. It was not a good first look at Tomo. It wasn't. It wasn't a time where you could say to yourself, I'm seeing his full potential. I'm seeing what he can do. That was today. We saw him healthy. We saw him. He got that first game jitters, those first game jitters out. And what did he do? He went out there and showed everybody why he is one of the greatest pitchers in Japan baseball history. Not just in the league, not just, oh, he was good last year. One of their greatest pitchers of all time. He did exactly what you hope to do. He's not going to strike out a million. He's not going to go out there and strike out 10, throw, 8 scoreless, all of that, put up Cy Young type numbers every game. But what he's going to do is he's going to miss barrels. He's going to get weak contact, and he's going to pitch. He doesn't throw. He pitches. He doesn't have the stuff to throw 99 past you, 102 past you. So he's going to live on the corners. He is going to fool you. And at the end of the day, when you look back, you go, if you're the Royals, nothing overpowered us, but we couldn't hit shit. We couldn't find any single way, it felt like, to get, even when they got guys on base. Yes, Bobby Witt Jr., very nice. Guess ground ball over to the right side. Mountcastle perfectly placed. But besides that, even when they got guys on base, it was pop-ups, flyouts, weak, bloopers that were caught. There were very little. I think the first 2 times they went through the lineup, there was a total of 5 balls hit off Tomo that were 95 miles an hour harder, so a hard hit ball. Missed barrels. That's what you ask for from these guys. That's what you want, especially when we've talked about the Orioles have very few, especially in the starting rotation with Grayson out. I would argue they don't have a single guy that is, oh, we can overpower you. Oh, I can throw 100 past you when Grayson's not out there. Tomo does what we've asked for him. I guess I shouldn't say what we've been asking for him. What we were hoping to see. Miss barrels, be a veteran. Nothing shook him. Let a guy on, 2 guys get on with 2 outs. All of a sudden, he walked Jonathan India to get to Bobby Witt Jr., and I'm not going to lie, guys. Not going to lie. I was like, oh, here we go. I was like, here's where Bobby Witt Jr. changes the direction of this ball game. And we're going to look back at that walk of Jonathan India as the turning point. Doesn't matter. Gets the ground out. We'll see you next inning. So it's going to be a quicker show again today. We're going to go to call-ins in just a few minutes. We already got people back behind stage, so if you are new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. We also go and do call-ins now. So I'll put up that banner. You know what? Screw it. We'll put up that banner. Boom. Now it's going down below there. Just cool things we do. But join, become a member, and you can call in. It's just a way for us to vet, pretty much get trolls out and stuff like that. But a lot of fun. It's the first time we've been able to talk about something fun in weeks, it feels like. Months, years. But it's only game 9. Everything I've talked about Tomo hasn't even touched on the fact that the offense scored 8 runs without the long ball. 8 runs, no homers. We want to talk about, the Orioles showing us something that we want to see. How about finding ways to get guys over and get guys in? Let me check. This is one of those live stat checks that I'm going to be doing here. What did the Orioles hit with runners in scoring position? Here's what we're going to do. Orioles were 5 for 15, runners in scoring position, and 333 average. You do that, you are going to win ball games. This is what we like. This is what we wanted to see from the Orioles offense. It felt like I doubt we're going to get games where Tyler O'Neill hits triples. Probably not going to happen often, but he made very nice contact with two balls that probably, if the wind wasn't just insane in Kansas City, would have been out of here. But let's move on to Collins. I'm not sure what Kevin's deal is. Kevin is out in DC, I think. He's somewhere. We might get Kevin on the street. We might not. Who knows? We're going to go to our call-ins. We're going to start with Steve. So remember real fast, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Joe, I better have you in here talking about Heston, but we're going to start with Steve. Steve, how we doing, my guy? We got to win.
Another 8-run game, no homers. But the main thing is Sugano was absolutely filthy today.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The only real mistake was the homer to Witt. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, he kept the damage to a minimum. He was getting ground balls. He was getting fly balls. Didn't need to strike out a ton. But the offense picked him up every time.
Yep. And like you talked about with, the only real mistake you can say is that solo shot to Witt. And at the time it was I believe it was 6-0 at the time. Solo shots aren't going to hurt you. So he's in attack mode. It gets into the at-bat, and he's a veteran. And this is where that veteran presence is so big, is he's a guy who he understands it's 6-0 in the 6th inning. What's a solo home run going to do in this game? It's not like don't let guys on. Don't let Witt walk, get a single, and then give up the home run. And now suddenly it's like, okay, it's a 4-run game. You give them life. Solo shot, I'm totally okay with. Go after the guy. Don't let them get momentum with just base runner after base runner. Solo shots. We talk about with the Orioles offense all the time how much we hate the solo home run, where it feels like we're relying on them. If you're going to give up a home run and it's a solo shot, so be it. Now we're just resetting the count. It's still a 5-run game.
But what I really liked is when Sugano came out and Baker came in almost right away, 2-ball to end the inning. Mm-hmm. Baker has been lights out this year so far.
Let him. Unsung hero. If you're going to talk about the unsung hero so far of the Baltimore Orioles in 2025, a guy that not many people. I mean, if Kittredge doesn't get hurt, I don't know if Brian Baker's even on the team. It felt like Kittredge getting hurt is the only reason he even got that extra spot, because they had to give it to a right-handed reliever. So Kittredge gets hurt. They're like, okay, Brian, here's your opportunity. All he's done is prove them right every step of the way. And this isn't new to Brian Baker. He's always been a guy where you're like, stuff's there. Can he control it? Can he find out? So I'm so hyped for him. One, for him to just be getting that confidence back. But it's massive for the Orioles if he can just find some sort of consistency, because if Brian Baker is your 6th or 7th inning guy, you're doing pretty well in the bullpen.
And before I head out, should have gotten at least Cano or Bautista in. 4 days rest, not optimal.
Yeah.
And you look at tomorrow. By the way, Jackson Holiday, Tyler O'Neill with 3 baggers.
Get the speed.
And Jackson spraying the ball all over the field now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that toe tap's working mighty nice.
And on his triple, he was a little out in front. And last year with that leg kick, he's swinging through that. That is at best for Jackson. That triple is he fouls it off into the dirt. This year, that toe tap, he stayed back, adjusted mid-pitch, boom, in the gap. And one of the underrated parts of Jackson's game that no one really talks about is kid's got wheels. It doesn't always show up, and it's maybe not the Jorge Mateo type speed, but when he gets going, Jackson Holiday's got some wheels on him. And I mean, that was obviously the big park in Kansas City helps you there with the power alleys. But this was a fun game where it felt like you got to see a lot of the offense. Heston Kirstad couldn't stay out of the weird double play, but loved everything I saw from him today. Oh, Steve, I lose you?
No, you're good. I got you.
Oh, yeah, but it just felt like the offense today was just incredible. Just all around. It felt like everyone was producing. Gunnar Henderson 0 for 5, and you put up 8 runs. The boys were picking it up.
Just go out there with Slim Katie on the mound and win the damn series. At least we don't have to face Burns in Arizona.
Yeah, which is big.
And I'm still scared of that Arizona team. Yeah, they lost to the Nationals 4-3 today, but even without Ketel Marte being on the IL, that offense is still dangerous.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And that's going to be a fun series. I love that we're not facing Corbin. I also hate that we're not facing Corbin. I'd be more butthurt if he wasn't. If it was coming here, I would love to see Corbin back in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
But, it's going to be fun. Arizona's not playing great, but you just got to get to them when they're down, because that pitching rotation is going to find their stride eventually.
And if I'm thinking correctly, it's going to be Eflin, Morton, Kramer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Sugano's going to get the opener against Toronto back home in Baltimore.
I'm excited to watch Tomo in Baltimore. That's going to be a fun one. Steve, appreciate you calling in as always, my friend. We get to celebrate a win. That's all that matters.
Just play the damn song, Zach. Play the damn song.
We're playing it. Don't you worry. We're playing it loud and proud before we get out of here. Appreciate you, Steve. As always, I'm sure I'll see you after the next one. I'll catch you later, my friend. Man, these are the fun ones. When we win, this is when I enjoy it. Overall, obviously, it's fun to react to any game, but it's a lot better when the team's playing well. Tomo goes out, puts on a show. The offense scores 8 runs without a homer. But we're going on to our next call-in. Going down under. AJ.
Oh, much better day.
Finally won. I was going to say, we finally got the win.
Yeah, Jesus. Kevin he has to eat the spicy ramen on losses now, and we'll never lose again.
I think so.
I think the baseball gods just do not want to see the spicy ramen.
They don't.
They don't.
They're refusing.
They are absolutely refusing. Sugano, like I said last night, I was excited to see Tommy Sugar on the mound tonight. He pitched his ass off. I would have loved to see him do a bit better, have a bit more of a shutdown inning in that last bit instead of needing to go to the pen. But I mean, I get the want to get Cano and Batista work, but damn well tomorrow the offense is only going to score 2 runs. We're going to need our heavy hitters in the bullpen. So I'm kind of okay with that. Now tomorrow they definitely need to get in work pretty much regardless, but you don't want to use Batista in an 8-run.
Yeah, I agree with Steve there, where when it was 6-0 or 6-1, I was like, okay, if it's a 4-run lead or something, I was like, then you
double play there.
Yeah, if it would have been closer, but I agree. As soon as it's 7-run lead, it's hard to justify, especially with Bautista right now. If this was Bautista where you're more just like, okay, he can go back-to-back days, then I think you can do that maybe if it's later in the season because you want to get him more consistent opportunities. But right now, if you use Bautista today in a 7-run game, he's not pitching tomorrow. Right. So that's what's making it hard right now for the Orioles. Is you want to get them in sort of,
not letting them get cold and everything, because that can also get you injured if you sit for too long. But you can't risk losing Batista on, what is it, April 5th over there.
Yeah. So. It is. And like you said, Brian Baker, that was a massive double play got in.
Brian Baker is such a dog. This bullpen is going to have some interesting choices when Kittredge and Suarez comes back, because who's the move? Because right now, the one I think everyone would want to see go in the bullpen is probably CNL, but everyone we have coming back is a righty. CNL's a lefty.
Yeah, you can, and that's what people don't understand.
Like we need. If Kittredge was a lefty, then it's Kittredge for CNL like that. But we need lefties in the bullpen, unfortunately.
And that is the question: is who? I'll call it a good problem at the moment. Obviously, we'll see when Kittredge comes back in 2 months or whatever it may be, what the move is, how people are performing at at that time. But yeah, so far, CNL, Aiken put together a better outing this time. So CNL, I feel like if you're really in the don't trust right now, I think CNL's the only guy. But
Aiken is like the Ramon Arias of the bullpen. It's like he's not flashy. He's not some.
He's just gonna get the job done.
He's gonna get the job done. He's gonna eat innings. Like, I mean, WAR is a pretty terrible stat for relievers, but he led the Orioles in WAR in the bullpen last year. So Aiken will get it done. I will say, I think the wind really held some of those fly balls that got hit off Aiken today. I thought that first one was smoked. And then it was like, oh, that is
a few. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think both teams.
Right field. Tyler O'Neill had Isbell in hell today. Oh my goodness. I thought we looked bad in the field yesterday. Isbell. Tough day for him.
And just like Tyler O'Neill, it was one of those baseball gods things, because if there's no wind and we're in a normal, both those balls are gone.
Oh, yeah.
But hanging in the air in College Bell was just, like you said, in hell. He was like, it's somewhere around here. He was like, it's around this general area.
I think Heston Kirstad wants to get the hell out of Kansas City. He is so sick of that outfield. Dude does not.
And Bobby Witt Jr. Jeez.
That double play was the weirdest thing I've seen in a minute. Thank God it happened up 7, because could you imagine the meltdown we'd be having right now if that was like a rally killing double play? Like, imagine that it happened yesterday when we're trying to rally. Oh my God, this would have been not a fun call in, but Tomo looked great. So good to see him ball. Gunnar Henderson, think we called him up too early. Got to send him back down to the minors to marinate a little more. Golden sombrero.
It's like Jackson Holiday last year. Just send him back down for a little bit, you know?
But also, like Jackson Holiday last year, you can't even put too much of it on Gunnar, because he saw some of the filthiest pitches the Royals were throwing. Like, Royals were throwing straight meatballs most of the game, and then Gunnar Henderson would come up, and there was like disgusting changeup, paint piece for the strikeout. The ump was starting to expand the zone outside by the end of the game, and I think if he had run up Henderson on that outside pitch, Henderson was gonna get tossed, because he was not happy with that umpire.
It felt like the ump was given the outside corner, inside corner towards the end, like you said. It was like a we're getting out of here type thing. But it felt like the whole game for Gunnar. It felt like everyone else was a decent zone, and then Gunnar would get up and they're like, if you put it near it, dude, we'll call it a strike. Like, he was.
I will say that's like Gunnar has actually decent enough play. Like, he strikes out a bit because he swings hard.
Yeah.
He usually has pretty good plate vision. That's one thing, is his weak area is the low and away corner. He thinks it's way farther away than it is. You saw it all the time last year. He takes that pitch every time, and he's always shocked he gets rung up on it.
Sometimes with some of these guys, it's they know the strike zone too well. Like, I genuinely think that, because the strike zone is going to change with every umpire.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, there's some of these guys, because they'll take the ball, and yes, by the rule, it's a ball. It is right outside the court, but the ump brings them up, and you're like, tough to blame you. But
Jackson Holiday's on base percentage is going to go up 50 points when they add the ABS system. Like,
oh my gosh,
he is going to be an ABS just demon.
Just all around, though, I feel like that's for a lot of Orioles that know this strike zone. Even, I mean, I know people give hate on him at times, but Colton Cowser also very good knowledge of the strike zone.
Get a hit, even if he strikes out or grounds out. It's the 7th pitch of the at bat that he does that.
Yeah,
like he's in 3-2 counts. I swear, almost every other
time. He's got an incredible eye.
He's got a middle fastball, and he smoked it.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, But AJ, before we get you out of here, anything Kirstad, anything else on your mind?
Man, just hitting the ball well. I know Hyde was tweaking, keeping him in against the lefty. They were bringing the lefty out of the bullpen, and I was like, don't put Loreno in. Don't put Loreno in. Don't put Loreno in. But he didn't. Heston looked great. Jackson Holiday is better than Bobby Witt. It's not me. It's the stats. Stats don't lie. Can we stop playing Gold Glove infields? I am
For real.
kind of sick of it. Like Jimenez with the Blue Jays, Bregman with the Sox, even though he did give us a couple. And now Bobby Witt. I'm kind of sick of it. Like Gunnar Henderson hit that first ball. I know it was kind of right at Witt, but he
still
hit 108 or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it was the highest. I believe at least in the 7th inning when I checked, it was the highest hardest hit ball of the game.
Over 100 since coming back up, and he's only had one base hit.
Yeah, at least when I checked in the 7th, the 2 hardest hit balls by the Orioles were both ground outs by Henderson and Westberg, and I was like, you know what, that checks out.
We got like that today though, so the baseball gods are smiling favorably. Can we get 8 runs one time when the pitching sucks, and can we get the 1-run stud outing from the pitching when we get 2? We get this pitching yesterday, we win.
No, best I can do is the Orioles lose 7-1 tomorrow. Sorry about that, AJ. We'll get it next time. But
oh man,
AJ, appreciate you calling in
today. I did not.
Yeah, what time was wake up call real fast? What?
It was 6. It wasn't bad.
That's not horrible, you know.
But I was out late last night, so
yeah, feeling a little rough this morning, you know.
Not too bad.
At least it was a win. At least it was a win. You didn't wake up for a loss.
If I woke up for this bullshit yesterday, which I did wake up for that shit yesterday.
Yeah, I was gonna say you did. But AJ, I'm glad they got a win for your wake up. Appreciate you calling in as always. And I'm sure I'll see. Maybe we'll be talking after a series win tomorrow.
Yeah, series win, get back to 500, and the O's are fine. Good win today, boys.
O's are fine, baby. AJ, we'll catch you next time. Appreciate you as always. What a fun time we're having. It's always fun when the Orioles score 8 runs and we actually win. It's awesome. If you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Kevin and Zach react. We're doing call-ins. We jumped into call-ins about 25 minutes earlier than we usually do today, just because it's going to be a quicker episode without Kevin. He's out and about. So we're moving on. We're staying international, going over to England. Nick, how are we?
I am feeling grand, a lot better than yesterday. No errors.
It's beautiful. The defense wasn't perfect. There was some times, especially in the field, I was like, get under it. But the wind and the sky made it difficult. No errors, Nick. That's all that matters.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, no errors.
The foundation.
Yeah.
It was
fielding's not always going to win you games, but it can certainly lose you games.
Yeah. The foundations were there. We played the foundations well. We didn't swing for the fences every time we had the opportunity to.
Yeah. And I do have to point out, because I actually have yet to bring this up, and we're 26 minutes in, and that's on me. Cedric Mullins' bunt single, like we're finding, we've been begging for them to find ways to get on.
Yeah.
And then we do. It felt like Jackson's had a million opportunities. Gunner's had it all last year, at least. If they're going to give you the third base line, go bunt and get on base, because especially when it comes. Yeah, and then the next batter gets walked, I believe, on like 4 pitches, because it puts pressure on defenses. Now the pitcher's sitting there the whole time after Seti just bunted, and he's going, oh, crap. He's stealing 4 straight balls. Now it's first and second, and that's how you start a rally.
Absolutely. The more times you get on base, the more chances you've got of scoring.
Like it, Nick.
That's the very foundation of baseball. If you get on, you can score.
Yeah, literally. And that's the biggest thing is, the Orioles, I think they even started like 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. They found ways to get guys in, like Heston's 2 RBI single, or Jackson's 2 RBI single, Heston single. They weren't bullets off the bat. It wasn't like, it was actually, for both of them, probably the 2 lightest hit balls they had, softest hit balls they had all day. But they find the gap, find the hole in defense where you can make things happen, and you can get. How many times this year? I mean, we've seen even twice today. We hit it hard, and a double play happens. Like the harder we hit it, it seems like the more BS happens. Find the hole, find the outfield, find the gap, and let's get runners in.
I mean, even yesterday, we were doing exactly the same thing. We were hitting the ball hard, but it was straight at them.
Yeah. And I real fast, I'm glad everyone else is also upset that we didn't talk about the bunt yet. Yes, that's on me. We should honestly could have let off the show because that's what we want to see, Nick.
I agree.
It's just it's the basic things of like everything we want this team to be because we've seen all the home run or busts. It's like if they're giving you the single, we have 5 or 6 guys that if they lay down the bunt Seti laid down, which was a beautiful bunt, you're not going to get that every time. It's a hit every single time. And if you do that, if you bunt 2 times a game and steal 2 singles each game, you're going to win a lot of games.
Absolutely, but it boils back down to the point is if you take the opportunities that are given to you, you're more than likely going to win a game. Take them.
And that's the whole thing. It's not that it's going to work every time. It's not that it's going to change the course of your season. But for a guy like Cedric, for a guy like Jackson, for a guy like Gunnar, in a day where the shift is just so overblown and they're pulling you, playing you to pull, if you just show that once, twice a week, okay, I'm going to bunt for the single here. They have to play the third baseman over. They have to pull that shortstop slightly over to cover that hole. And then suddenly you're sitting there and you're like, wait, the field has opened up more than when I was just swinging for the fences because every time I pulled it before, they got 6 guys standing there, it feels like, blocking the infield. Whereas if I'm laying down a few bunts and then I go out and I pull it, that second baseman has to go over a little more to cover up the ground the shortstop left. And suddenly, every once in a while you get more hits out of it.
Absolutely.
It's
the way it is.
Exactly. Nick, anything else on your mind?
The thing that's really on my mind, there are 2 things. The first is Tommoyuki Sugano. My guy. Tell me he was not a vibe out there today.
I love just how happy he is too at all times.
Yeah. I thought, you know what, he's not sweating bullets.
No, which was big.
He's not an anxious mess like I was on my first RRS call-in.
But I think he was the first time.
Yeah.
The first time he pitched it looked the exact same. And Nick, look at us now. Look at us now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nick, actually, Nick, real fast while you're sitting here. Okay, never mind. He just went back out of stage. So we'll add our favorite everyday call in Kevin in a second. But Nick, appreciate you. Kevin just texted me after he left to not bring him on. I kind of just want to put him on, but that's a different thing. So
one thing,
Nick, give me what you got.
The oceans of the world cover 71% of our planet. Heston Kirstad covers the rest. There you go. WPS.
You know what, Nick? That's a perfect segue into our next caller. So I love it. Heston Kirstad covers the rest of the earth. It's what he does. Speed demon, defensive, I guess, potential Gold Glover one day. Heston Kirstad. Nick, appreciate you as always, my friend.
It's not out the realms of possibility. Take it easy, brother.
You take it easy as well. If Juan Soto can win it or get into the conversation, anybody can. We're going to stick. I love saying it. We'll stick international. We're going to Arkansas. Woo pig suey. How we feeling, Joe?
Woo pig suey. But guess what?
Heston done learned to hit.
He did. But guess what? How about them herd, baby?
How about it, baby? How about that herd? Marshall University, don't sleep. Don't sleep. Don't let the boys get hot. We finally got a stadium.
Taking down number 13 this weekend. How about that?
I'm telling you, Joe, the herd built a stadium 2 years. I guess this is just their second year finally having a stadium. And go herd. I mean, suddenly it's like the Happy Gilmore, like, oh, Happy learned to put. Marshall decided to start caring about baseball. And now here we are knocking off number 13.
The all too early preseason 64 tournament had Coastal in Fayetteville, though. I want Marshall. I don't want Coastal.
I'm telling you.
I mean,
well, Coastal, you told me Coastal's having a down year, right? They're not having their.
It doesn't seem like they're having a good year, but the all too early Baseball America tournament bracket.
But
show in
you know
it.
what? When
We'll
the
see.
herd are in the super regional show, we'll look back here and we'll be like, we were right.
Well, if they come to Fayetteville, sir, they're not getting to the super regional. So just
I don't know.
slow
You
your
see
roll
herd
there.
getting hot. You saw them this weekend. The boys got their vibes going. Boys got their vibes going, and so does Heston Kirstad, Joe.
He does.
I know you like the double plays. I'm counting both of those as what the hell moments. You know, that those are not on him. He's making great contact with the ball. He's spraying it all over the place. I know it's making you feel good.
It is. He's earning that spot, man. Big decisions when Colton comes back. I mean, it you gotta let Mateo go because it seems like
Well, they'll have time to make that decision. You know,
Mr.
obviously once
Ramon's on fire too, so you can't just say bye Ramon because the man's hitting, and
he is.
everyone else on that team has speed. So Mateo for speed when he's not on base and doesn't play well isn't a reason to keep him. So we'll see what happens. But
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of the feeling though, was that this was going to be potentially Heston's shot.
it has to be. So it absolutely has to be.
So I mean, like, you know, it was as soon as Colton went down, the big question was, is this finally the opportunity Heston's been looking for? And I mean, how many other times have we seen a player finally get his opportunity and he doesn't give it back? You know, he never looks back. So if you're an Orioles fan, obviously love Cowser and would love for him to stay involved. And, you know, I think he's got incredible potential, but you can't deny the bat of Heston Kirstad, even if it's just as a DH in games or, you know, he should be playing in 75% of games because the kid's shown it with the bat. When he gets consistent action, he's going to produce.
He hits for average too, not just power. So,
and that's something people don't. Everyone just thinks Heston Kirstad, when he was coming up, it was probably the most pure hitter in the Orioles system.
Yep. It's amazing to finally see it. So,
yeah, I'm excited. I think this is going to be. I think, Joe, I don't want to put too much pressure. I don't want to do any of that. But I think this could be the moment where Heston gets his opportunity. He's fought back through so many things. I mean, you want to talk about the story. You know, obviously he gets drafted. Then he's got the heart stuff, fights through it all, gets the opportunity. Finally is starting to put it all together. And then hitting the head in New York, and that was the rest. You know,
them damn Yankees.
They didn't want to see him succeed, Joe.
No,
they didn't want to.
No,
they didn't want to.
Yeah,
Joe
can't stop him now.
Can't stop him now, Joe. I appreciate you as always for calling in. I'm sure we're good. Hopefully, we're talking more Heston tomorrow for another big game.
Let's hope so. Wrap it up. Win the series. Head to Arizona on a high note.
That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. Joe, appreciate you calling in as always. And perfect streak lives on.
It does.
Perfect streak.
Go Hogs.
Go Hogs. Go Herd, baby. Yep. I'll catch you next time, Joe. Appreciate you. And before we move into what I believe is going to be our last caller, we have, I guess, a caller that maybe showed up without paying. We're going to have to ask him. Kevin Ostreicher, welcome to the show. Appreciate you tuning in. For long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah, I actually paid $50 a month for my membership. So
it was the bundle deal. It was the
bundle.
You know,
I actually pay 1 to 2 hours a night for my membership. 1 to 2 hours every time the Orioles play. Although today it'll be a little shorter. I was out and about, so now I'm the one that didn't see the game. You were last night. I was today.
Yeah.
Hey, what's a fun? I checked the score. I kept up with it throughout. Was a fun little day the Orioles had today.
It was a fun little day, Kevin. It was one of those days where Tomo looked great. The offense, besides some weird double plays, it was one of those things where offense was just, I don't want to say it was firing on all cylinders because there were still moments where they could have had more. 5 for 15 with runners in scoring position, obviously. 333 average is great. You know, would like to see that closer maybe to 400 when you're getting these opportunities. But 8 runs, Kevin, no homers. No homers, finding ways to get guys in.
I'll say we have graduated in a sense here, where last year at the end of the year, second half of the season, it was home run or bust, literally, where either they hit they were hitting homers or they weren't scoring any runs at all. Now I think we have somewhat graduated, not the full way, but we have somewhat graduated to now there are 3 outcomes. Either they only hit homers, they have games where they only drive in guys without homers, or they don't do anything at all. Like, there is no in between.
Yeah.
There is no.
Yeah, it genuinely isn't. It feels like this team just stays on. If they're not, they are the most all or nothing team I've ever seen. They will put on performances that you're like, this team can go toe to toe with any damn team in this league, and I'm not afraid of anyone. And then they have games where you're like, do we come in last place? Like there feels like there's no in between. But Kevin, before we continue on, do you want to bring on what at least last caller on the
well, yeah, and I do want to bring this up first, Tommy. Appreciate you for the $2. I think this was in reference to me coming on the show. So if it was, I appreciate you, Tommy. I'm here. But if it was about the Orioles, then yes, I feel you. Finally,
to both. Finally,
okay,
to both. Finally, appreciate you, Tommy. Let's bring on our next caller, Laura and company.
Oh,
Laura, how are we feeling?
Chase decided he wanted to make an appearance today.
Yeah,
well, we are very glad.
My 5-pound Maltese. This is him with his summer puppy cut that he got. So,
I love it.
I know.
How old?
He will be 5 on May 17th, the day before my birthday.
Very nice. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, back-to-back birthdays. Look at
yes. So,
how you feeling, Laura? I didn't see the game. You did. How'd you like it?
Will the real Orioles please stand up? That's how I felt about this game. It's like, you again, and somebody mentioned it in the chat, consistency. I'd like to know what I'm going to get. When I turn on the game, it's like, okay, what's going to happen today? Like, really think, because you said, Kevin, that you wanted to, you were going to eat the spicy ramen. I think they really won just for you because they don't want to put you through pain.
They always have my best interest in mind, even if that is making me suffer for 162 games.
So, but we do want that spicy noodle at some point. So
it'll happen. I don't know what else to do with them. I'm gonna have to eat them at some point.
I was gonna say eventually we have to eat them.
Can you? So why don't we do this? If they can sweep Arizona, we get a spicy ramen.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I'm down with it. Let's go.
There we go.
My only disappointing part about all of this is that we're in last place in the East. And yes, it's early, but still we're in last place in the East. I'd really want us to get out of that cellar and get back competing because there are teams that are winning, hint, hint, Toronto Blue Jays, that really shouldn't be, winning right now. Other than that, I'm just the O's are fine-ish. We are back.
They are on the path to being fine. They are back on the path to being fine.
We're getting there. I mean, I'm hoping that Slim Katie is going to have a great top-notch game tomorrow. I think my biggest worry is whether, because this was kind of an early-ish game, whether the guys are going to go out and get some barbecue and get weighed down, and then they're not going to play well tomorrow.
Laura, I hope not.
Casey barbecue is hard to resist.
It's very hard.
I know the saying. The saying is LA nightlife is undefeated. Is KC nightlife undefeated? Is that the new thing now?
It's just the cue. So good. So good. So that's my thing. Is like just keep them out of the barbecue joints, and we're gonna be good.
Get them in the hotel. Don't let them leave.
Correct. Let them pick up the barbecue on a to-go plate when they leave tomorrow and head to Arizona.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good compromise. Good compromise.
So that's all I got. That and Chase.
Well, we're very glad Chase made an appearance. This was a real treat. So.
Thank you. So I mean, you're always bringing your pets on, Kevin. So
Hey,
I had to bring Chase on.
This
Chase
is
not
a
want to be on camera.
Pet-friendly stream. Sometimes the pets can get a little camera shy. It's all right. It's okay.
No, it's okay, Chasey. Other than that, go O's. It's a good day. It's a good day.
Good day.
It's a good day. Laura, appreciate you as always.
Didn't have to use my AK. All right, guys. I was gonna say, do you get that one, Kevin? Because sometimes I'm gonna make these references in here, and I just wonder.
It's a weapon.
Do you know what song it's from, Kevin?
What? Maybe I'll know if you tell me.
Have you heard of a young man by the name of Ice Cube?
Yes, we
interviewed him.
Your handle in the Discord is Waka Flocka Boy, and you know nothing about hip hop or rap.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'll have you know, Laura, I know all the words to Dreams and Nightmares. I know a lot of other rap songs too. I grew up with that. Like that's that. It was that electronic music and pop. Those were the three for me. Very different, yet that was my music taste.
Ice Cube had a song called, It Was a Good Day, and he talked about all the great things that happened. And at the very end, he said, I didn't even have to use my AK. I got to say it was a good day.
Yeah.
Kevin,
probably should have known that one. Yeah. You know what? I'll take that one on the chin. Yep. I'll take that one on the chin.
Kevin, we got to send you back to hip hop school. Sorry.
I have to.
I graduated too early. I didn't learn enough.
Kevin, we had such a great show.
I know. I can sense the disappointment from here.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I'll get him next time.
You'll get him next time. And
Okay.
Laura, appreciate.
I'll drop another, pop culture reference that you won't get, but it's okay.
And
I will get some. I will get some. I know that. Maybe
even
not
Chase,
all of them.
Even Chase is giving you a disappointed look.
Look. Chase heard that and said, "Okay, now I have to look at the camera." Now,
yeah, he's giving you side eye there. He's like,
really
"What?"
Is giving me that. He's giving me that. What? Come on, man.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Chase. I'm sorry.
All right, guys. Thank you much.
Appreciate you, Laura, as always.
Appreciate you.
All right,
Kevin. What a day, Yeah.
Orioles. We did get a request for the Discord.
Yeah, so Discord link will be going.
Link for the Discord will be coming in. All right.
But yeah, overall, Kevin, today was one of those days where it just felt good to be an Orioles fan. Guys like Heston, Jackson Holiday 3-hit day. Tyler O'Neill had a double and a triple. Both should have been home runs, but then both should have also been caught. The wind kept them in the yard. And then
crazy weather day.
Yeah, Kyle Isbell put on just a clinic on how not to play center field.
Very nice. I mean, hey, as an Orioles fan, I love to hear it. So,
yeah, we had some small ball. Just overall, Kevin, just a day that made you literally everything we've asked for. They got guys over, got guys in. Defense wasn't sloppy. Sugano wasn't just mowing guys down. He was getting weak contact. He didn't have to strike everyone out. He was just being efficient. And honestly, unfortunately, if he didn't get into a little trouble in the sixth, he probably finishes six clean.
Yeah.
But
that's the next goal. 6 innings. Get up to that number.
Yep. All great things so far for Sugano. Really, and I don't want to consider this his first start because obviously what happened, the first start happened. He had the nerves, he had the hand cramps, but it felt like this was truly his first start where the nerves weren't there. He was just pitching. He was doing his thing.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You called him the wild card at the beginning of the show. It's exactly what he is. And so far, returns have been positive, and you hope it can continue. Yeah,
exactly. That's all you asked for. And this was the other thing. Tommy put they allowed players to Heston Kirstad, RBI on lefty. Same with Jackson Holiday. We got some lefty RBIs. Maybe the boys are evolving.
Hey, Let's hope.
Let's hope. Kevin, anything else? Honestly, I'm going to be real. Going to probably go watch the Final Four.
I got nothing. Go enjoy the Final Four. Hopefully everybody else enjoys the Final Four. If you are still invested, I know Maryland is out, so it makes it a little more difficult. But you know what? Some brackets have not been busted. Hey, I still have my champion in, although I can't say who it is, even though I've said it before. But
yeah, I was going to say I got Florida, so
yeah.
Sorry everyone in the chat who has.
Well, I'm more of the villain because I have.
Oh yeah, I know who you have, but I'm just saying. So
Tragedy.
That's going to do it for this edition of Kevin and Zach React. We'll be back tomorrow. Orioles win 8-1. We're playing. Oh my gosh, Kevin, I gotta play the damn song as we go out. We're gonna play the damn song as we go out. I didn't do it at the start, so let me.
You have to do it.
Can you hear it, Kevin?
Yeah, we hear it.
I'm using my AirPods, so I have to hold it close to my. That's going to do it for this edition of Kevin and Zach React. We'll be back at tomorrow. Orioles win 8-1. Make sure hit that like and subscribe button if you're new. Call-ins happen every single game. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got what, Kevin? 150?
100 plus games to go.
153 more of these puppies to do. So we'll catch you next time. Got to go see. I made a promise I would make this my random Oriole. So we'll see you next time. That'll do it this time for Kevin and Zach React. Chico Solomon.